There's a question. What's my bet? Will Carlsen reach the magic 2,900? If he wants, he will. Yes. I think one thing is that with this question with Magnus Carlsen's rating is that what he actually lacks a bit. I think he does not have a very yeah, I know it sounds harsh with Caruana, but he doesn't have a very serious challenger at the moment. Maybe Caruana if he gets more stable or so, but he doesn't have someone who really pushes him to the limits. And if he would have that, I think definitely, yes. Okay. For example, Kasparov and Karpov, yeah, they played a ton of matches, those 5 matches from 1984 to 1990, those 6 years. In those 6 years, they really pushed each other to new levels that weren't that weren't possible. They weren't possible before. Especially Karpov became a much more aggressive, more versatile player. Yeah, of course, Grishuk, Nakamura, they're all strong, but there is no one that I think is really pushing Magnus to the utmost in terms of if you look at this is not comparable to Karpov Kasparov, for example. Okay, yeah, there's a bit of a discussion about bullet chess. I have a very clear opinion about it. Bullet chess is something that you can play once in a while for let's say 20 minutes or so, and then it's okay. I don't really like to do it in any more than that. Sometimes I feel like, oh, let's just play some quick fun game and don't care so much about the quality, and then it's okay. But it's not something to be done like for hours. Yeah, some of my students sometimes ask me, should I play bullet? And I say, well, you shouldn't, but yeah, we all do once in a while. And if you don't overdo it, I don't see a big problem with that. So why not? Once in a while, it's certainly okay. Yeah, blitz chess. That's after I gave my opinion about bullet. There's a question about blitz. Yeah, I think blitz is something that can be used. It's close to decent chess sometimes, and it can be used to practice things. Especially you can practice your openings and or let's say you can practice the middle games that come from your openings quite good in blitz. If you have some decent opposition, you will be able to check if you really know your stuff and know how to play things, especially if you have opponents that are on your skill level. No, I don't agree, Mercury. Blitz and bullet is not the same thing. 5 minute is entirely different to 1 minute, where you really have to pre-move and be super quick to stand any kind of chance. And in blitz, it's simply more time available. Yeah, the Queen's Indian here. I have a problem with my pawn movement to take, push, or keep tension. Do you have some general advice on that matter? Not really. It all depends on the concrete position, what is right. In general, however, if you look at the majority of games, it's more often you see people giving up on the tension too early. They trade too much and they play too simplistic. Very often, it's better to keep more tension on the board. Chess is a very concrete game and it depends very much on the particular position. Okay, we have clicked the wrong button. Yeah, the quality of the game in 3+2 is higher because the games are actually played out to the end. And this means that also there are sometimes situations in 5-0 or other non-increment time controls where one side knows he's going to win on time, and then they are not really they don't need to prove anything anymore. They can play any crap, to be quite frank, and this is simply not possible in increment time controls. They have to play well until the end of the game, and sometimes you really notice that people, well, they don't even want to play chess anymore if they see, okay, I'm going to win on time. They just play nonsensical moves all the time, and this is not going to happen in an increment time control. Okay, I'm going to try to just win the g. Mercury, what is this thing with in a 3-2 game can do 1,000 moves and I can only do 40? If you can only play 40 moves in a game with 2-second increment, you have a serious problem. It's not about Nakamura, it's about you. With a 2-second increment, you can make an infinite number of moves and not just 40. Even with a 1-second increment, you can do a hell of a lot of moves. And the important thing is you can also draw the draw endgames and win the simple one endgames. This is the most important thing about it. Okay, going. Again, I overlooked a simple move. What am I doing here? Come on, it was just a nice. It was such a nice position. I really was a lot better with my two bishops, and now I have to give up stupid material here. What a shame. Totally screwed this up. I don't know why he's giving me this here, and he's giving me the exchange. Wow. Okay, that's a weird turn of events, but necessary, I guess. What is this? This is equal material, right? After all this blundering. Funny. Funny. Yeah, it's probably a draw. It's probably a draw. Any way to try to play for a win here? Probably not. That was... What? Why is he going back? That's strange. Why would you go back? If he trades, he's in Zugzwang. Okay, so he can just stay now, unless I'm taking the knight. Okay, that game was really bad. It was really bad. But okay, you have to win those wins, those games as well. It took me a while to see that the knight was really up for grabs. Wow. Okay, it's okay. I'm having a. Yeah, I do sometimes resign positions. Yeah, if they feel like, if they are completely lost, and I felt, I think if I think in this position, if I have, what did he do? Oh, he resigned. Okay, yeah, in a situation where I think that the opponent would win easily with an increment. I mean, easily with an increment, I would resign. Bishop and knight mate, I would not resign, because simple up to grandmasters people fail with that. But like queen up or so, I would resign. And it also sometimes, I mean, don't really have to care about it because of the increment. Okay, opponent wants to abort the game. Also depends a little bit on how the game went. Yeah, I mean, if I'm like winning completely the whole game or so, and then I make a mistake and I'm about to win on time, I probably just take the time win. I don't know. It's a very difficult situation. It's much simpler. It's just much simpler if you give people an increment, because then it is just it's just pure chess skill. It's not about any kind of etiquette. It just played out till the end. Yeah, increment is just promoting playing chess and not hitting the clock or making any funny mouse statistics. Okay, yeah, people are making fun in the chat of former women world champion Anna Ushinina because she failed with the bishop and knight checkmate. Yeah, I understand it is kind of embarrassing that this happened, but I don't know. The thing is, you can make fun of that, but the problem is simply that even with the increment, there are still human beings playing, and if you're nervous and you have to, yeah, everybody's watching you and so on. There are very, very strange things happening in this case, or under those circumstances, and yeah, I don't really like to make fun out of people, because they fail with those kind of things. It is difficult sometimes to have the presence of mind after 4 or 5 hours of play. I know that I've done my fair share of totally ridiculous stuff after a long game has been played. So I'm not going to ridicule people there. I've made my fair share of stupid stuff. I mean, not exactly this end game, which is fairly easy, but it happens. Yeah? It simply happens.